Hey, whippersnappers, it's Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another very exciting episode of the Hexath'locke. It's very exciting because today we are starting Season 5. We are in Season 5 of 6. We are getting so close to the end of this thing, guys. And today we are starting our run through Pokemon White and Unova. And here we are in our bedroom with our best friend Sharon. And Sharon's all like, Tortimer, I heard from Professor Juniper we can have a Pokemon? What's keeping Bianca? Alright, where's Bianca? There she is! I'm a little late again, sorry! Bianca, I've known for 10 years that you have no sense of time, but seriously, this is the day we get a Pokemon from Professor Juniper. I know, sorry Tortimer, sorry Sharon! Why is she addressing me first if Sharon's the one talking to her? So, where are the Pokemon? They were delivered to Tortimer's house, so Tortimer gets to pick first. Naturally. Naturally, duh. And actually, I don't get to pick, you guys got to pick, because at the end of last season, I let you guys vote on which starter I would choose. I really didn't have a preference one way or the other, so I didn't try to influence it at all, and you guys came out pretty resounding in your choice. And so let's find out what you guys picked. We've got Pokemon in this box, I guess. And here we go. So you guys got to choose between Snivy, Tepig, and Oshawott, and pretty resoundingly, you guys wanted to see the Water Otter, and we are going to be going with him. I think we had like 7 votes Oshawott, 2 votes Tepig, and 1 vote Snivy. Or maybe it was 2 votes Snivy, 1 vote Tepig. I don't really remember, but either way, there was a lot of votes for Oshawott. There was really no contest there. And so, yeah, you guys got to pick, and I thank you guys so much for the vote you gave me at the end of last season. For those of you guys who are just joining us, I should note that this is the Hexath'locke, which means you guys are not jumping at the beginning of a new series. You are jumping in the middle of one. We are in Season 5 here, so there have been 4 other seasons. The Hexath'locke being a Nuzlocke variant that I created to make a more continuous gameplay feel. So instead of doing just 6 random Nuzlockes on my channel, we are doing 6 Nuzlockes as a single challenge. Hexath'locke being a mashup of 2 words, the first of which being Hexath'lon, which is a 6-event challenge, and then obviously Nuzlocke. So Hexath'locke, 6-event Nuzlocke, and we are in number 5 of those. So we are starting off with our first of 2 rival battles that we'll be doing today, and our little Oshawott going up against the Tepig. Bianca obviously has the Pokemon that is weak to our typing because she is quote-unquote the weaker of the 2 trainers. Doing pretty decent damage there, and I guess a little bit more than the Tepig even, so we should be alright in this first battle. Not that it matters a whole lot, given that we don't have Pokeballs yet, and as a general rule, I don't start Nuzlocke until we have Pokeballs. So this first battle shouldn't affect us all that much. Oshawott's going to come in here with a good hit. There we go, even with the Tail Whips. It does seem like we're outspeeding Tepig, so it shouldn't matter at this point. We should be able to knock it out right here. Which will be a good start to this run. Maybe that'll be a nice omen for us. Might have even gotten a crit there. I missed it there. Ooh, baby! Lots of experience. Funny story, I've actually recorded this episode twice already. And the first one got... well, the first one, my microphone wasn't plugged in, so I finished recording and realized I had no audio at all. And then the second one... I finally realized it was happening in the first one too, but I finally realized that there's some bug in Pokemon White ROMs, which we are using a ROM for ease of recording, but there is some bug in the ROMs which causes you to not gain experience. And I was not gaining any experience at all, and I started recording, or I was recording the second one, and I was like, really? I feel like I should be gaining experience here. And so I finally just Googled it, like Pokemon White ROM won't gain experience, and apparently there was some code I had to put in. So I scrapped the first episodes, and I figured, well, the first one was worthless anyway because there was no audio, and the second one, I was like, I actually started recording the second episode because I was just like excited to get into it, but no, that did not happen. So finally got all the bugs worked out here, I think, and so we are getting started with Hexath'locke Season 5, and taking on Sharon, our second rival. He has got the Snivy, which is actually, Snivy is the first Pokemon I used when I came through Generation 5. I know you guys, if you've watched me for any length of time, will know that I'm not a huge fan of Gen 5. Ooh, good. Snivy didn't do a ton of damage either. Although we didn't do... Snivy must have better defenses than Tepig. We should be able to take on Snivy. I hope so. I would love to get up to level 6, although that second attack from Snivy looked a lot stronger than our second attack. And Snivy's definitely outspeeding us, so I don't know what we'll do here. But anyway, okay, going for the Leer. As long as he does that twice in a row, we should be good. Anyway, for those of you guys who watch me for any length of time, you know that I'm not the biggest... Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Sharon, for being worthless. Not the biggest fan of this generation in general. Probably my least favorite of all of them at this point. Not that it doesn't have its merits, and I'm actually really excited about this season because it'll hopefully give me an opportunity to go ahead and see it in a different light, which I'm very excited to do because I've grown to love many of the Pokemon and many of the mechanics from this game more and more as I've done like Showdown and played other games where like those mechanics don't exist. Like Infinite Use TMs is great. There's some other things that they've added as well, which I'm looking forward to taking advantage of. But yeah, so not my favorite generation right now, but I'm looking forward to maybe coming to appreciate it a little bit more as this season goes on. And beating those two rival battles is a good start. We will, I think we're going to have a great Hexath'locke Season 5, and I'm glad you guys are here to go on that ride with me. If you guys are brand new, welcome. Glad to have you on board. As I mentioned before, this is a continuation of an ongoing series, so you don't necessarily have to, but there are 4 other seasons of Nuzlocke. We ran through Pokemon FireRed, HeartGold, Ruby, and Pearl. And so those playlists are on my channel if you want to go back and watch those. I actually was bored at work and I'd run out of other things to watch on YouTube, so I went back and was watching Season 1 just for giggles. It's a little rough because that was my first foray into YouTube at all, so I was using all free recording software. I was using a webcam mic, which I actually used for a long time and really is a pretty good quality webcam mic. You know, my audio is a little bit better now, but it wasn't terrible then for the most part. But yeah, so Season 1's a little rough just because I was so new to it and my technology wasn't as good and all that. But all of those seasons are a lot of fun for me to go back and watch, and they're good quality content. So if you guys are brand new and you want to go back and watch those, feel free to do so. But you don't necessarily have to in order to understand or enjoy the current run we're doing. But just, you know, if you're looking for some fun entertainment, there's about 18 episodes in each of those seasons, so you can go back and do that, no problem. But yeah, so here we are in Season 5, and I've kind of explained a bit about the Hexath'locke in that it's a 6-event challenge, so we are in our 5th season. This is our 5th game that we are playing through. But what makes the Hexath'locke special, what makes it feel more like a continuation as opposed to just doing 6 random runs and just saying they go together, is the fact that we have a mechanic revolving around transfers. And so in the Hexath'locke, any of our Pokemon that survive through to enter into the Hall of Fame are entered into our transfer pool, and then at the beginning of any new season, we are allowed to transfer in 2 of the Pokemon in that transfer pool into the new season. And those Pokemon you can... we had a little bit of confusion on this on the end of last season where people thought they could only vote for Pokemon from that current generation, or that current season, which is not accurate. You can vote for anybody, as we will see. Oh, we get to nickname our Oshawott. Fantastic. We get this Water Otter, and we were going to name him Kensei. I know I used this nickname for my Poniard in Showdown, but it is my go-to samurai reference. It's also a good geek reference. If you guys can tell me where it is from without Googling it, I will be impressed. So there we go, Kensei, and we've got our little guy going. We'll have to check him out here in a second, because I'm interested to see what his nature and everything is. In the 2 different recordings I've done, haven't had the great... Well, I think the first recording I did, I had a pretty decent-natured Oshawott. Last time wasn't terrible, but it wasn't fantastic either, so, you know... Whichever. We'll figure out what Kensei has. The beauty of the Nuzlocke is you just kind of have to take what you get, and so you got to make it work. And I haven't really worried too much about natures, etc. previously, but this generation has another one of those little mechanics that I, in retrospect, after playing the other ones, really do enjoy. And now that I've gotten more into competitive stuff, really come to appreciate more and more. Which is when you look at their stats, it actually highlights with color. Red and blue to show you what effect that nature has. So I don't even have to know what the nature does. I don't have to bother learning those. It'll show me. So great for me because I am terrible at that, as you guys will know if you've watched me for any length of time. And so we'll sure, our mom's giving us something. X-transceivers maybe? Or we already got that, didn't we? I don't know. She's doing something. Mom's being mom. We're gonna get going here. We're heading north to Accumula Town, I believe is what it's called, or something. Again, not my favorite generation, so I didn't watch any of the anime or anything to know what the actual pronunciations of things are. The anime was unbearable. If I didn't like the games before, watching Silent and Iris and all that, watching Ash, I watched the first episode of the anime, and Ash's Pikachu, which has been with him for years and years and years and years, lost to a level 5 Snivy, and I was done. But yeah, so we're going to head north here and do our first catch. I'll throw up on the screen right now because I don't really care what these people are talking about. But there is the map, which will show you guys what routes we're forfeiting, because in order to bring in our 2 transfers, which we will be meeting once we get to Accumula Town, we had to forfeit a couple of routes, and by a couple I mean 3 routes per Pokemon, so 6 routes in total. So we don't get to make any catches on those routes because we transferred in other Pokemon. Maybe a bit steep, but sorry about that. Season 2 felt a little bit overpowered because I think we forfeited 3 routes total. I said it was like 1.5 routes per Pokemon or something. And Season 2 felt a little bit easy. Of course, in Season 2 we were in Ruby, which didn't have as good of a fake checker, fake Pokemon checker, so like I had a level 5 Blastoise. and so Blastoise was nice. Leonardo was a good guy to have along, great defenses and stuff early game, which I think was probably part of it. As the generations have gone on, we've kind of realized that we're not going to be able to get away with that quite as easily, so the Pokemon we do bring in today are going to be in their lowest stages, as they have been for the last 2 seasons, but we'll figure out who they are once we get to north to Accumula Town. One thing I should note, you guys, I sped through and or probably cut out Professor Juniper's catching tutorial there. I am going to be speeding up through a lot of stuff here because, well, not a lot of stuff, but I'm going to do a catch here real quick, and then we are going to probably speed through the rest of this route. I'm going to be trying a shorter episode format. Ooh, a Patrat. That's exciting. We get a little Timon on our team. That'll be fun. I've really come to enjoy Patrat through my First Root Rodents team in Little Cup, which I know you guys are good fans of as well. People seem to really like those little buggers. Timon is my Patrat, and he is my lead. And so my First Root Rodent team has, you know, the First Root Rodent from every generation. It's got Rattata and Sentret and Zigzagoon and Bidoof and Patrat and Bunnelby. Ooh, I shouldn't have tackled again there. Ooh, okay, good. Worried about a crit there. So I'm actually really excited about having Patrat on the team. Really enjoyed my experience with Timon. He's been a great lead for me, and I'm excited to again get a chance to give him another chance. Usually when I played through Pokemon White on my 3D, not on my 3DS, but on my DS when I first got it and played through the actual game. I have the cartridge and everything. I usually would get Lilups because I love dogs, and so I would get those little guys. But so I've never really trained a Patrat for real in the game. So we'll give a nickname to our Patrat here, and we are going to throw the nickname Timon on him in honor of our little cut Patrat. There we go. And okay. So very cool. I'm going to speed now through the rest of this, and then we will get up to Accumula Town and do some business. So I will see you guys here in just a second. Alright guys, welcome back. Had to get through some tutorial-y kind of stuff and just general nonsense that we didn't need to see. So yeah, we sped up through some of that, and now we are here and ready to pick up our transfers. Again, here's the map on the screen. Those are the routes. I just plugged all of the available routes into a random number generator, and it spit out which routes we would be forfeited. That's how I generally always pick out which forfeited routes we do, and we forfeit those routes so that we can get these 2 lovely Pokemon. And these are the Pokemon that you guys voted on, Toadette and Dantes. Toadette, of course, being our Shroomish from Season 2 when we ran through Ruby. and Dantes being our Sneasel from last season, Season 4, when we ran through Pearl. So very excited to have those two around. Grass Fighting and Dark Ice are going to be a fun combination to have around. So very excited about that. Thank you guys so much for all your votes again. For those of my loyal viewers who have stuck around this long, I greatly appreciate it. Really, really a lot. So, and all you new guys, welcome again. We've got our transfers. I mentioned before the speed up that we were going to be trying out a shorter episode format, so we're actually going to be calling it a day here. But first, before we do that, let's take a look at our Pokemon. And the reason I'm doing the shorter format, I know I've asked you guys about this before. Let's see, Modest Nature, not ideal. Modest is going to lower attack and raise special attack. Which isn't great because I believe that Oshawott or Samurott is a more of a physical attacking water type, so that probably hurts us a bit. Let's see, Timon, let's see, is Hasty Nature, raises speed and lowers defense. Okay, that's fine. And then Toadette and Dantes are their natures from previously. Toadette was quiet natured and Dantes was hardy natured. So there we go. We're doing shorter episodes because viewership has kind of dropped off on the Hexath'locke a bit, and I think that that's largely because, you know, when we started this off, I wanted to keep things, you know, I mentioned that I was watching Season 1 again, and even in there, I say, you know, I don't really want to waste your time. I want these to be shorter episodes that you guys can kind of consume quickly and move on, and you know, they've lately become closer to like 30, 40 minutes, and that wasn't really my intention, and I think that if I cut these down to closer to like 15 minutes, I think that'll make it easier for even, you know, some of my even diehard fans have difficulty keeping up with 30 minutes episodes. You know, some of my good friends on here and regular viewers, you know, are often like, man, I'm so behind and things like that. So I think if, you know, we do this, it'll be more enticing to newer viewers and it'll make it easier on you guys. So we are going to cut here for today. We've got some plot that kicks off as soon as we leave the Pokemon Center, I think. But our team is looking good already. We've got Timon, Toadette, Dantes, and Kensei. I'm really excited about this team going forward already. Actually, need to take this item from Dantes. It's his Razor Claw, so that we can do that, because I don't know if there's one available in-game to evolve him later on. But yeah, so for those of you guys who have been watching this long, thank you so much for doing that. I would love for you guys to answer the new question of the day, which we're going to be doing, and that is, you know, I mentioned that this is not my favorite of the Pokemon generations. In fact, going into this, it's probably my least favorite of them, although I'm sure that will change as we go through this season. But I'd love to know what your least favorite Pokemon generation was, and why. Just let me know in the comments down below. If you know, you guys have a Pokemon generation that you're really not a big fan of, let me know why. I know a lot of you guys love Gen 5, and so I'm looking forward to getting a new perspective on it. But as of right now, probably my least favorite generation. So I'd love to hear what your guys' least favorite generations are, and just let me know how excited you are for the Hexath'locke being back. I'm super excited to get into this. The new start of a run is always fun, and I think this season will be especially fun. So anyway, as always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Please leave a like for me for the start of a new season. Likes really are, I know people say this, but they really are very big for YouTubers like me who are trying to grow their channels, because it helps you get into more search results and things like that. It shows up on the side as a suggested video and things like that for people. I would really love for you guys to do that for me. Leave me a like, leave me a comment knowing what your least favorite Pokemon or least favorite Pokemon generation is, and all that jazz. So anyway, as always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. I'm excited for this season, guys. I'm glad you're along for the ride. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.